All right, now we're going to talk about inverse trigonometric ratios. So before we used the trig functions to find sides. So inverse means the opposite, so we'll be using this to find the opposite of sides. So think for a second, what are the opposite of sides? If we're talking about triangles, if they're not sides, what are they? Correct. They're angles. So, if a triangle is right and you are given any two side lengths, you can find any angle. So, in order to find an angle, we use something called inverse trig ratios. Inverse trig ratios are set up just like normal trig ratios with one extra step. So, in this example, it asks you to find the measure of angle A. So, find angle A and circle it. You need to label the parts. So, opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse. What things do you have? What's given to you? So 15 would be opposite and 20 would be adjacent. You can mark the hypotenuse, but we don't have a number there. So, because we don't have the hypotenuse, we need to determine which trig ratio we do or are able to use. So, because we have O and A, if you remember SOHCAHTOA, TOA is the one that uses tangent for opposite and adjacent. So, we should use the tangent. Now what you want to do is set up the ratio. So, that means we want to say the tangent of A equals 15 over 20, opposite over adjacent. Then you want to switch the fraction with the angle, and then write it as the inverse. So, that means tan of A equals 15 over 20. So tan to the negative 1 of 15 over 20 equals A. So you always, if you're solving for an angle, you always use the inverse. If you're solving for an angle, you use the inverse. Okay? Now, step 6 is to solve the ratio. So you can just go in your calculator, and iPhones do this too. You can do tan to the negative 1 of 15 over 20. That's going to get you 37 degrees. That's all.